Hello, audio fans and music listeners. Hope you are doing very well today. Hopefully safe and warm wherever you are in the United States. This weekend it is quite nippy, and here in central Mississippi, if it's below 70 degrees, it's too cold for me. And when I woke up early this morning, the wind chill was at 5 degrees, and that is too much for this little ball guy to handle. So hope you're staying warm. Also, so having said that, today's video, I hope at the very least will liven up your day just a little bit. So you can call me crazy, call me whatever you want. I'm just going to throw this out there. I thought it was way too intriguing to not share with you guys. Had a really interesting conversation with a friend earlier this week, and I did not know that my buddy Jim also has a YouTube channel. And my friend Jim is seriously into fishing. And so, he was asking me about my channel, how it was going, that sort of thing. And we got to talking about some different, very interesting subjects. And eventually, one of those subjects was, what kind of challenges do you experience? Now, it's actually not really a challenge for either one of us because it doesn't happen to bother us. But we did mention just how there can be a lot of negativity. And this video is certainly going to draw some of that, and that's totally fine. I'm actually very curious to see what some folks have to say. So in talking about things where you get potential negative feedback, I happened to mention about cables, and just that's one of the most common controversial subjects in the whole audiophile world. And Jim just laughed. He said, dude, you're not going to believe this, but it is the exact same thing in fishing. He had my full attention. I said, all right, tell me, what is this about? And I found out very quickly that people who basically like to do this and that like to catch a lot of these things, which I'm sure you recognize those. So I don't know if that's a mackerel or a tuna or a bass or a great white perch, but if you like to catch a lot of those, people who are serious about fishing will oftentimes use these things right here. And this happens to be actually, I don't know what brand that is. What I looked up on the internet was a Garmin live scope, I think. Now, I don't know anything about this subject whatsoever, but that is clearly a screen, and you can see where these devices are a sonar image of what's underwater. There's another picture of another setup. Looks like you got a couple of these sonar devices, maybe three, and a GPS. I'm not sure what that is. But what got my attention was that when we got to talking about cables, Jim stated that the same debate exists in fishing, because people that like to use these items right here are very now listen to this. They are very serious about trying to get the best possible image. Imaging is very, very important when they're trying to see where the fish are. Imaging becomes very important on these sonar devices, and you can see where I'm going with this. You don't have to be clairvoyant probably to see this, but it is a thing in the fishing community that, in the same way that you guys have heard me talk about the significance of the signal path in an audio system, signal path is a huge thing in the fishing community when it comes to using these sonar devices. And it absolutely blew my mind. But there's all different kinds of ways that they tweak and try to work with the signal path. And one of the most common subject matter when it comes to using, I believe this specific brand, that Garmin live scope. I don't know why I'm pointing over there. There's nothing over there, but I just felt like doing that. But with that particular brand, Jim just said, look, if you want to get some information on this, just Google Garmin live scope 16 volt battery. So, I looked up some videos on YouTube, just trying to get some info. There's a lot of stuff out there, and I do have another video that I'm hoping to get out this weekend. It is Saturday today, and so for the sake of saving time and just getting this video out there, because I just thought it was too funny not to get out to you guys. I don't want to spend the rest of the weekend combing through videos like I normally would, but just I went to Mr. AI to see what he has to say about this 16 volt battery thing, and I found some interesting information. Okay, going to the 16 volt information here in just a minute. But before I do, if you guys don't mind, before I forget, I did switch over to this. This webcam right here? This is what is this? It's a Insta360 Link 2C. Insta360 Link 2C webcam. You can see the little webcam just sits on top of the laptop. Anyway, wanted to try to improve the resolution on the picture here in the room. And there's normally not normally, but there is an overhead light over here. But when I flipped that thing on with this camera, it got really, really bright. And so the resolution obviously is better with this camera. But just curious to get your feedback on what you think about the imaging. Talking about a lot of imaging today. Imaging with this webcam. Does the picture look better with this webcam or with the other one? If you don't mind dropping some comments in addition to whatever other feedback you want to provide on this video, that's totally fine. Thank you in advance. All right, now going back to this 16 volt battery thing. We need to come up with a name for this AI thing. Okay, trying something new here, so just bear with me as I kind of learn on the fly. I've been piddling with this thing, but and also just as a disclaimer, just in talking about this for the sake of these things that are going on in fishing, I'm not by any means advocating using any kind of higher voltage or different power, this, that, or the other for your audio equipment. So I will not take any responsibility if anybody gets the bright idea of doing something like that. So just throwing that out there. All right, so looking at this thing right here, let's see if this thing will move. Yep, okay, I think so. Okay, so I asked, we'll just call him Bruton Gaster. All right, asked him if a 16 volt lithium is the thing with these Garmin's, is that a lot of folks like to use a 16 volt battery. And it apparently is a very popular upgrade for the Garmin LiveScope because it offers brighter screens, crisper images, and longer run times, blah, 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 in a higher voltage than a 12 volt system. All right, so why the 16 volt for the LiveScope? Enhanced clarity and performance. The higher, more stable voltage provides a stronger signal, improving image quality and detail on your LiveScope. So, okay, let's go to this next snip. Hang on one second. I went back to Mr. Bruton Gaster here and asked him, does a 16 volt allow a Garmin LiveScope to produce a better image than a 12 volt battery? Interesting response. 16 volt battery can sometimes make a LiveScope image look slightly brighter or more stable, but does not inherently improve sonar detail or target separation compared to a proper, and this is what I find interesting, a proper 12 volt setup. The biggest gains usually come from clean, consistent power. Biggest gains in what? Detail, target separation of the picture. So comes from a clean, consistent power source. So what that means, even though this LiveScope thing is within spec from 10 to 32 volts, the system draws the same power to run the sonar. So increasing voltage doesn't necessarily increase sonar resolution, but what does improve image quality is clean, noise-free power. I'm sure y'all are seeing where I'm going with this. I just find this very interesting. So clean, noise-free power. And the reason I said that the proper 12 volt setup is important is because, or I say I liked it, is because if you've listened to any of my previous videos about talking about signal path, you know, it's not just the power supply, but it is everything in the path of the signal. And so from my understanding, it's not just the 16 volts power transformers, but also the wiring itself. And we'll see something spoken to about that here in a minute. But the cables, the types of materials used, the connectors, everything comes into play when these guys are hunting down fish, trying to get a better image. Okay, so then I asked it, would a better quality power cable, would that help improve the picture on the sonar? And this is what it said. But the answer was absolutely yes. Upgrading the power cable can noticeably improve the Garmin LiveScope image, even if you stay on a 12 volt battery. In many cases, anglers see more improvement from better wiring. So now you see where I was going a second ago when Jim was telling me about it's not just the voltage or the type of power transformer, but everything in the signal path. That's basically what Mr. Bruton Gaster, the artificial intelligence guy, is telling us right here. In many cases, anglers see more improvement from better wiring than from switching to 16 volts. So there you go. Some information on the importance of improving a signal path or the signal path when it comes to sonar devices that have a screen that you can see with your eyes to help these guys find fish. So they want to be able to see the imaging of what's under the water as clearly as they possibly can, and they're doing everything they can to improve that imaging in the same way that many of us in the audio world are doing everything that we can to help improve the overall sound of our sound systems. And it just blows my mind how that is a debate in the world of fishing in the same way that it is in the audio community. Obviously, I'm a firm believer in power cables. I've experienced the benefit of power cables, interconnects, speaker cables, improving the components in the speakers, the connectors. Every little thing in that signal path will help to reduce the noise floor to improve the image. I'm not seeing it, but I'm hearing it. And so, again, I'm sure this is going to stir up whatever, and that's completely fine. That's one reason I didn't want to go into a lot of detail on going through a bunch of videos of what may be out there for fishing, is I'm just curious to see who picks up this topic and runs with it and maybe does some more homework and try to get a lot more detail out of it. I'm going to leave it with you to make your assessments however you will. I just thought it was extremely funny and somewhat validating just to see that the same debate exists in a completely different field, but happens to have a visual outcome that you can see. You can see it. There's no arguing with it. If you can see a better picture, it's a better picture. And whereas some people may say you can't hear something, I mean, this is all subjective when it comes to audio, but when you're looking at a picture, you can't really deny it. It is what it is. So, but again, that's basically it for this video. Just throwing this out there. Feel free to laugh, cuss me, whatever you want to do. I just thought it was a very interesting subject and thought that many of you would get a kick out of this, that it would liven up your day and maybe even appreciate it. I have no idea. But if you have enjoyed the content, I hope you wouldn't mind liking the channel. I dare ask you to subscribe after some kind of nonsense like this. But if you do like it, hopefully you wouldn't mind liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as that would definitely help us to grow. But I hope you have a great rest of your day. Again, hope you're staying warm and cozy, and we will look forward to seeing you hopefully next time. All right, take care and have a great day.